It's the beginning of January, and with that comes the beginning of the new minimum wage increase. Local businesses, including Belly Ice Cream, are getting ready to roll out this $14 an hour new wage. Founder Shelley Westgarth says she's in the planning phase at this point since the majority of her employment happens in the summer.
So we haven't had to do anything yet. The planning process is in place, and I'm having a real hard time struggling on how to figure out where it's coming from. The student minimum wage is actually going up 37%, and the adults 32%. So over the course of 4 months, I'm looking at a $20,000 increase on costs. So I know we're going to have to hire less people, and we're going to have to work harder on less people.
Westgarth also says they have to look at other ways to help the bottom line, including raising the prices of her products.
The thing that we've realized with just the scoop shop, just to keep us open on regular hours, so we have sort of competitive hours with what's going on Main Street, we would have to be as busy as we are on Canada Day in May. So if you look at it in those terms, this town can only offer so much. Like, our tourist season is when it is, and that's our core months are 2 months really. So you have to figure out how are you going to raise your revenue with the same amount of people in town. So it's going to be an interesting thing. I think I'll probably end up having to work a lot more shifts in here in the slow season. The problem being May and June is when we're the busiest in production. So it's going to be an interesting thing. We'll definitely have to cut some hours. That'll be key, like not just staff hours, but hours that we're open. So anything in the past that's looked like it's kind of a dead zone, we'll have to shut it down.
The government's move to raise the minimum wage is something Westgarth supports. However, she doesn't support the limited time employers were given to implement the new law. She says it simply is too much, too fast.
Nobody ever had to do 32% in 1 year, or 37%, because the majority of my people are students. So I'm looking at almost a 40% increase. So nobody ever did 32% in 1 year. Like, that's just irresponsible. Even if you're a big business, that's a large chunk to absorb into your costs. And what people aren't really taking into account is above and beyond that, there's your employee contributions, plus all my costs are going up to the stuff I purchase, because everybody else is going up as well. So it's not that we're against it, it's just the reality that it's making Ontario a hard place to do business.